Growing up, like in school, and you know, 'cause we met. What was it at Miller or Central?
I think it was Miller.
Okay, so
I mean, it was both, but I think it started. Yeah, because you was in Miller when I was in Miller. Yeah, because you was only one grade before me. Yeah.
Okay. So like growing up at Miller, like we first met through sports, but like you know that could have been a path, and you know just different other things. Like you know what was it? You know, growing up, did you see yourself being before you even started that boutique and stuff like?
Growing up, I didn't see myself being anything like what I am today. Like I didn't think that I would own a store. I didn't think I would want a boutique. I didn't think that I would be a hairstylist. Like if you had told me I was gonna be a hairstylist when I was in middle school in like 19th grade, I would have been like, no way. Like I would have never thought that. Like I was playing sports. I played football and everything, so it's just different how life changed and worked itself out. But I never in a million years would have thought. I actually thought that I was going to become a lawyer, or like a detective or something, something like that. Like I just never thought that I was going to be hair, because where I'm from, it's not that I didn't think that people make a lot of money doing hair. But I always, like I said, I always wanted to be something more and have something that had like a lot of money involved as far as making. And I just never thought that hair was like a lot of money. Like I never thought it like, oh, I'll be a hairstylist and I'll make millions of dollars one day, because you just never seen that, you know, from a hairstylist or, you know, the hairstylist. I remember back in the day, hairstylists were like $35, $40 and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to do no hair, you know, $35, $40. But times have totally changed, and that's another reason why I came to Atlanta, because if I did hair and making, I would have to work like 3 times as hard as I would have to work now, maybe even harder, to even come up with the income that I can make in Atlanta. So that's why I was like, no, I gotta go to Atlanta, because the money is different, the atmosphere is different, the vibes are different, everything is different. And a lot of people don't know that, because if you're so used to what you're seeing, you never know anything else. I always looked at everything else. Like that's why a lot of people, if they grew up in the hood or whatever, and they never leave the hood or never do anything, it's because that's all they've seen their whole life is the hood. So if you've never seen the other side, you don't even know what's there or what could be, you know, that's possible. And like I said, I always looked at other things. Like I wasn't in Atlanta when I was living in Macon, but I used to watch TV, and I'm a Pisces, so we're dreamers. So I used to dream big and look at different things that I seen on TV and was like, oh yeah, I want that one day, or oh, I want to be a part of that. And everything I've ever said as far as things like that, I've manifested. Anything I ever say I wanted, like 9 times out of 10, is very far-fetched, and people don't believe it. They be like, no, wait a minute, that's not going to happen. But I promise you, literally everything I've ever wanted in life, I've manifested, and it's happened.
Absolutely. What were some of those challenges early on, you know, with you, you know, kind of just trying to find that footing in what direction that you want to go? You know, I know like with you starting your online boutique, it was some mistakes early on. It was some challenges early on. With the Wigs, I know that was some challenges early on. Just kind of like what was some of those trial and error process like, you know, around that high school time before, you know, that boutique?
The biggest trial and error always been for business. Even now it still has, you know, each level has its own challenges. So you can be here, you're gonna have some challenges. No matter how high you go, you're gonna have challenges. And that was one of my biggest mistakes. I feel like once I reached a certain level that I wouldn't have those challenges anymore. But it's not true. Every level comes with challenges. My biggest challenge has always been, I know how to sell. Like I know how I can sell water to a fish. I can get things sold. I can make money. That's cool, fine, and dandy. That's all I've seen at first. Now I'm in the point of life where I realize that it's more to it than just making the money. Because if you can make the money but you can't maintain the money, that's the problem, 1. And 2, the business side of it. I had to literally, over the past couple of months, right now in my current life, I had to slow down on the selling side so that I can get the business side taken care of. Because if the business ain't taken care of, all of it's going to come crumbling down and all of it's going to fall apart. So I had to learn that the hard way and really just sit down and structure my business so that it can continue to flourish.
Absolutely. Let's get into the boutique. Like, what was the name and how did that come about? And like, what, you know.
So I used to have a boutique. I started, like I said, when I was about 17. I was in like the 12th grade. My mom gave me like $200 for Christmas one year. And I was like, I can't get a job. I was like, I gotta do something. So I literally took those $200 and stretched it so far and did my own website, got me a logo made, ordered like 5 pieces of different clothing off of AliExpress. Nobody knew about AliExpress at the time. So I had looked up on that, and I literally launched the boutique with $200. And it had got to the point when I was probably like, at some point during that time, I literally was making like $17,000 a month in 12th grade. But again, if you don't know how to manage the money, you're gonna lose the money. I've came in contact with a lot of money and I've lost a lot of money. And that's because I didn't know how to manage it. I feel like I'm still learning how to manage my money. And I feel like I'm still getting to the point in life where I have to really know how to handle the money, because you learn how to handle money, but you only learn how to handle this amount of money. Then when the money gets bigger, you still got to learn how to handle that type of money. You know, the only people who in life who I really feel like you could mismanage your money is if you're like Jeff Bezos and you're worth $175 billion. If you're not worth that, even if you got $5 million, like people think that $1 million is a lot of money. That's not a lot of money. It's so easy to blow through $1 million. It's so easy to blow through $100,000. People think that, oh, that's a lot of money. It's not. It's because the more money you have, the more you have to spend on. Like, for example, my business, when I was working in my house, I didn't have a whole lot of bills before I got this store. When I got this store, my bills tripled, quadrupled. And therefore, that means whether if the store makes the money or not, I still have to pay these bills. I still got to pay employees. So on average, it costs me like $36,000 a month to run this business. And that's with no inventory. That's just for employees and bills, and for me to live my life. That's not. So each level requires me to manage the money differently. So now that, okay, yeah, when I was in the house, if I made $50,000 a month, that was like, oh yeah, I made $50,000 a month. If I made $50,000 a month now and I got a store, that's a bad month for me. Yeah. Because $36 got to go to some bills. And I ain't even bought no hair yet. So we technically in the negative. So for me, that's a bad month. So, you know, it's just all about structuring everything to making it make sense. And for the longest, I was just spending, and nothing was making sense. Yeah. Until the money started getting low, and I'm like, hold up, wait, something's not adding up. So then that's when I had to sit down and like really figure it out to know how to and what I need to do.
Absolutely.